Hey everybody, so with Smee now in the game, quick update on the raid. It seems that the pirate tier or the pirate team is able to do just a little bit more if you are not a heavy spender, right? So if you have a Thano and Kicks, maybe you can go a couple tiers higher if you'd like to. If you have the Jedi Master Mace Windu team and the clones and Bad Batch, maybe you don't even need to. But for those of us who are for their fifth team doing a Pirate Hondo 300K, it seems like with Smee on the field, we are able to do the first tier for 450K. I know that doesn't seem like a lot, right? But 150K over 10 players is 1.5 mil. 1.5 mil over five times more than that is 7.5. I don't know, 7 to 10 million, somewhere in that range. For me personally, being able to move from tier 0 to tier 1 actually means the difference between the second to last personal box and the last personal box. So it is a big deal for me, and we'll talk about it right after the intro. All right, so we have Smee in the game, and I have mine at Relic 7. And I know some of you in the earlier game are rolling your eyes, but the reality is, if you are getting the newest Conquest unit the day that it comes out without any spending, I don't see any reason not to bring that character up a little bit higher on the higher end. I typically am going to bring all of my Conquest units to Relic 7 at least. I do have a few of the Territory ones. Territory Wars one's a little bit lower than that, just because I don't have a reason for those characters. But in this case, it's a little bit different because we do know that the pirates are going to be useful. Now, the main points in Smee's kit here is this limb for one limb ability hits 6 times and it does an insane amount of damage. Smee hits like a freaking Mack truck with that, and our goal is going to be to take out the guy on the left. I think that's Oppo in one shot, right? So what I've done for Smee's stats, you can see here, I've got him modded really fast. I wish I could get him higher into that 300 range, but it does work here. And I want his physical damage as high as possible. So 10,450 seems to get that hit on a crit, which is nice. Normally, you would probably want potency mods on him, but the potency isn't really doing anything for him in this raid in particular for this particular type of run. So I have put health mods on instead just to try to help him with his survivability, right? So you can see offense primary, um, offense on all of my secondaries as much as I possibly can. Offense primary, offense primary. I did a health over protection here on the circle. And I did an offense primary on the arrow just because I had one that's semi-decent that Bo-Katan was using. I don't think it necessarily matters. What I find at this level is that the crit itself is going to matter. And if you don't crit on that first hit, you're not going to kill the character and you'll have to restart. Now, I was doing this with my other set of mods, and I had a higher crit chance. It was working a lot better. Where's my crit chance? It was working a lot better and a lot more reliably, but this set gave me a little bit less RNG overall just because I had slightly more survivability. So if you're able to get some crit chance in there as well, then awesome. Beyond that, I just threw my fastest mods on Hondo, and Hondo is at a 317 speed. I honestly didn't really even care what anything else was. I just went fastest, fastest, fastest possible that I could. There are a couple RNG points in here if you're doing the two-man run. sometimes they're just going to focus down Smee, and there's nothing you can do about that. And you've lost. And I also am always going to restart on that first hit if I don't kill the character on the left, who, again, I'm pretty sure is Oppo, but not to be a racist, they all look exactly the same. I have tried this as a 2-man with Hondo and Smee. I have also tried this as a 4-man with Sana and Enfy's Nest. I think it actually does work better as a 4-man, and the reason being is that Smee's unique gives him 10% max health and offense for each scoundrel ally, double if they are pirate, right? And both Enfy's Nest and Sana are pirates and scoundrels. So if you happen to have both of them, if you are in the late game, I don't see a reason not to put both of these guys in, as long as you don't need Enfy's Nest for her own solo run. Right, so let's see what happens here. First thing I'm going to do is use my middle special on, oops, yeah, I mixed up Oppo and Fox. Fox is on the left, and I want to kill Fox first. So the first thing I'm going to do is use my W on Oppo, just so that he's not doing anything, and I am going to use my W with Smee to try to knock out Fox. Perfect, great, it worked. Excellent. Now, I'm going to resist the urge to use Dire Fortitude, which is very useful in order to use my right special on Oppo here. It's going to give me some extra stats, some healing. I'm good, I'm great, I'm wonderful. And my goal here is to get Oppo down as quickly as I possibly can. Once Oppo is down and I get another turn, I'm pretty much golden for the rest of the run. I'm going to use my right special, call Smee to hit. Hope for the best, not too bad. This is where we just hope that I survive. Very good. I have 8 stacks. Just a basic. Let's see if we can kill him here. No, we can't. Oh, good, he killed himself. Nice. Now, this is where I really need to make sure that I am paying attention to the stacks. I have 8 left. I think I'm going to be good with that. I am actually going to hit this guy on the left. And the reason being is that I can now W the guy on the right and just take him out in one hit. Boom, done. Now I will use my move to get those extra stacks back. I am going to use my E special on one of the Nightfall troopers. He cannot attack me back. He cannot critical because we dispel the buffs. E on Smee. I want to get all of these guys down, so I'm going to block this guy over here. I'm going to use my R because why not, right? And good. Now that this guy's clone is down, I'm pretty safe. I could W or middle special with Smee, but I want to hold off on that. Because if I can keep that until after this first set, then I'm even more golden. Go through. Excellent. Wonderful. Now things get a little bit easier. Right, perfect. I have a turn before both disguised clone troopers. I want to take the other one out first. Once again, if I can just keep one guy from attacking, I am super happy. It doesn't really matter that much at this point. Right, you can see we are taking guys out both with Smee and with Hondo without too much problem. Special. Just hit with you because I want to. Doing so much damage at this point that it doesn't matter. there we go. That's my 450. Super easy. Again, there is some retrying that may happen here. If you don't crit the first character Fox, um, then you're going to probably want to restart, right? That's great. Um, if Smee keeps getting critted down, you're probably going to have to restart. That's fine as well. Um, it took me, I would say, maybe about 5 minutes to get the run pretty correct for those two characters. Just as a reminder, if you have all four available, I know I don't have the four anymore, but if you have all four available and you are not using Enfys for her own solo run, I do find from practicing that it is a little bit easier with all four. The only difference is that whenever possible with Sana, you are going to try to solo attack characters that either don't have retribution or who are currently blocked by Hondo. She does not do enough damage to be relevant. You're just using her as a stat boost. And with Enfy's Nest, you are going to use the stun whenever possible just to block an attack from happening. But I found it to be pretty intuitive. I did spend considerable time trying to get the Relic 1 tier this morning. I'm not going to say it's impossible, but I was not having a lot of luck. I was not having, it just didn't seem like it was worth my effort for those four. So, with all of that said, I hope that you find that helpful. I hope that know, doing this and getting the 50% more score, even for how low it is, actually does materially help you because it materially helps me and it means I get the max box and I'm super pumped about that. With that said, peace out. Have a great rest of your day, guys.